Imagine you log on to Instagram and make a quick post. Then, seconds later, you regret that post and delete it. You feel a sigh of relief as that post is deleted from existence. Now, what if I told you that that message still exists even to this day? Everything you do, write, see, and log into tells a story about what kind of person you are and is stored in digital records. Now, let's take a step back and talk about the evolution of crime. Crime has been redefined as our way of life have changed. From simply getting your ruffian boys together and robbing a train with little to no preparation to Bonnie and Clyde robbing stores as they drift from town to town. It was easier to get away with murder. But when technology gave birth to video cameras, security systems, and other modern technology, criminals had to put more thought and planning into their crimes. This gave rise to the complexity of trials today, and the stakes of criminal activity increased as a result. What criminals don't know is that when they plan for a crime and dispose of all the evidence, they leave behind a solid trail of evidence where they least expect it, on their computers. This is where digital forensics comes into play, by tracking and collecting evidence left behind by the perpetrator to be used to either prove their innocence or locking them behind bars. Digital forensics is another way of finding out what truly happened, just as blood forensics and crime scene examination do. When you post something on the internet, or look something up, or even download something on any of your digital devices, you are leaving behind a digital footprint. Even when you think you covered your tracks by deleting your history, emptying your recycling bin, or removing a post, all can be recovered through digital forensics. Digital forensics can be simplified into two categories. The first being what's stored on your computer, and the second being what's stored through the internet. Files you have stored on any electrical devices, be it your phone, game system, or computer, tell a story about who you are and what you are doing, along with the timestamp of when you are on said devices. When things are deleted from your computer, they can still be retrieved from the hard drive inside your computer using specific software tools. Likewise, over the internet, anything you look up, anything you post, and anything you log on to stores information on remote servers hosted by the company that you are currently trying to use. This is why posts are never truly deleted and that anything posted can be recovered. This is a very serious matter, especially today in the digital age, as many people are being fired over controversial statements that they might have thought were playful jokes, but people forced that company to terminate them. Like with all evidence, digital forensic evidence can be used as either inculpatory, which is evidence used to defend the accused, or as exculpatory, which is evidence used to convict the accused. For example, if you are accused of robbing a bank at, say, 3 p.m. today, but your social media shows that you were at a birthday event that same day at 3 p.m., that could be used to help prove your innocence. Inversely, if you are on your phone and you send a text or email in the area near the bank around the time of the crime, that information is saved on remote servers that can be used against you if you are the accused. Now, alone, that wouldn't be enough to give a proper sentence, but it sure won't help your case if you're trying to give an alibi as to where you were and what you were doing. A dispute within criminal justice these days is in regards towards the authenticity of the data grabbed from the suspect's computer. People ask if you can grab their information, who's to say that that information hasn't been tampered with since its extraction. Now, it's a good question and it's also a valid one, but luckily digital evidence is taken just as serious as physical evidence, such that all evidence is stored by the government and any tampering will deem the evidence invalid. That being said, all handling of the evidence is documented and then left alone as much as possible. Now, if a lawyer wants to use this digital evidence, they must be given a copy of the original evidence. Then when it is used in court, it must be run through a hash function, which is basically just a mathematical formula giving back a result. Now, that result at the same time is compared to a hash function run by the copy. And if those two are not equal, then we know that the copy has been manipulated in some way and that is not a valid evidence and will not be used in court. But if they are the same, then we know that the original is the same as the copy, because with a hash function, any sort of change at all, be it a period or just a character, it will result in a totally different value. And so that's what we're looking for, is this mathematical function and the result that is given by them, which should be the same and will be the same unless it is manipulated in some form. Now, everything being said, digital forensics alone is not enough to determine someone's fate in court, but it might very well tip the balance in keeping a dangerous murderer off the streets or an innocent individual from being sentenced to wrongful imprisonment. And that's digital forensics in a nutshell. Thank you all for your time and attention, and I hope you might take something away that you learned from this presentation. Thank you.